Hello and welcome to Thando Writing. And today's guest is Mina. So quick introduction. For anyone who's never met you, what three words would you describe your music and your songwriting style?
Ooh, already like the
Yeah,
first question.
three words. Yeah, the C.
Um, Three word about my writing style and music. I'm gonna say deep.
Okay.
That's one word. Um, I'm gonna say cosmic.
Expand on that. Cosmic.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard someone use that word.
I think that I my sound's quite ethereal. Is that the right way of pronouncing it? So it's
Hmm.
quite, and I think my songs are quite like they're pop, but they're quite dreamy. They're a bit like
Hmm.
outer space, and they have a bit of a spiritual like tendency. So I feel like I'm a very like cosmic spiritual person, and it feels in my songs because they're deep, but they're a little bit, head in the cloud kind of
Hmm.
dreamy. So I feel like cosmic is a good word for me.
What would be your third word?
And my third word, I would say emotional,
Hmm.
emotional in the writing, emotional in the music. So I feel like when you listen to my songs, whether it's the lyrics or the sound, it's always
Hmm.
quite um full of emotion. It's quite deep and it takes you somewhere else. It makes you think of things that you don't really like to think about or don't
Hmm.
normally think about. It's quite existential and it makes you ask yourself questions that you normally maybe wouldn't and reflect on the deepness of things, especially like how deep love can be and the emotions that it can trigger. And because I'm very raw in my lyrics, that's probably another good one.
I would
So,
say because
yeah.
having binged listened to all your songs, soulful.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. I love that that's what you feel. Because I always
Yeah.
feel like I'm quite like, my head is like in the cloud and like I write very raw stuff, but like, yeah, soulful is a good word. It's a very good word. What makes you say
Okay.
that? I'm interviewing you now.
In the sense of like, I'm the kind of person when I listen to music,
Mm,
because I'm a nerd. I listen to the words. I
yeah.
love the lyrics. I think it's the
Yeah.
writer in me. Um, and soulful songs for me, I listen to them and I just I go within myself in a nice way.
I
I
love
just
that.
close my eyes and I'm just like,
I love that.
life is good. That's what I mean. Like when I think the most soulful people, I think of like stuff like Aretha Franklin,
Mm.
Whitney Houston, and you. That it gives me that feeling of like,
Oh, wow.
you know what I mean? Like
Putting me in the same
it could be,
sentence as these people as well.
it's a
I'll
feeling.
just take it.
It's a feeling. Like not many
Hmm.
musicians could give that feeling for me. It can be different genres, but it's just
Yeah.
that feeling of like, huh, yeah.
Like in a positive way, or it makes
Oh
you like
yes,
reflect.
100% positive. Like
I love
it's like
lyrics.
the world is just peaceful, and that's all that
Wow.
matters. That's kind of how I describe it.
I love that because I feel like my songs are not peaceful at all. Like they're calm, but if
Mm,
you listen to the lyrics, like I wouldn't say like the well, I guess maybe being like reflection is peaceful, I guess.
yeah, I mean,
So
reflection is
yeah.
peaceful
Yeah.
because even the words can be raw. It puts
Yeah.
you in a state of mind where like you can how do I word this? You can go through those words in a very
Yeah.
like calm set sense of mind. You're like, okay, I
Mm.
understand what's going on. Instead of you, for example, I'll describe it to poetry. You've got some poems that are very raw and
Mm.
intentionally puts you in a sense of anxiety because
Mm.
that's what they want you to do. You
Yeah.
got some poems that are very raw, but calms you and makes you existential. Goes, okay, let me. This is a very raw topic, but I can address it in a very calm way.
I'm obsessed with what you said. I love that because my goal, and I think that's my what I want to do now with music is because it's
Mm.
evolved because I've been doing it for so long. It's really to share and make people
Mm.
feel. So when I perform and I have someone come into me and saying like, I heard your song and it made me feel this way or that way, that's success to me. Like I love that. So this is the way you've explained it with poetry and you use the word soulful, like that's like making my heart so happy because it's exactly what I want to try to do and I've never heard it in that manner, so I'm just like we can stop here, I'm happy.
What have you done? We're good.
We're
We're
done.
sorted.
Love it, love it.
Actually, that is actually a perfect segue where I think where did your love of creativity, actually two parts actually. Where did your love
Mhm.
of creativity start in
Mhm.
general? And specifically, where did your love of music then came out of that? For some people,
Mhm.
they are like, for example, I'll say for me, I was creative generally. I loved art, I loved writing, I loved music, and then I kind of went into the poetry and literature. Was it that
Mhm.
same for you, or you just like, I love music, this is all my life from the
Mhm.
beginning?
Yeah, so I do love music very much. It feeds my soul. My
Mm,
dad is a really cool guy that listens to really cool music, and he was listening to very good music when we were younger, and he
mm,
introduced us to it, me and my sister.
mm,
Very versatile in terms of and eclectic in terms of style. So we'd listen to like Sade and Anita Baker, but we'd listen to like Fleetwood Mac, and we'd listen to Stevie Wonder, Dire Straits. Like it was
mm.
very like a mix of
Like every genre just mixed
every
into
cool
one.
genre. So I think from a young age, like because my first language is French, so I used to like translate songs to try to understand them. I used to do like little choreographies in my
Mm,
living room, and yeah, I was obsessed with that. And then started learning guitar on my own at like 15,
mm,
and feeling like I wanted to write songs and wrote like one song, showed it to my older sister, and she was like, hang on a minute, this is like really good. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just loved like doing it. So music definitely like I've had my journey with it, but it like it I it's my everything.
mm,
But I love art as well a lot. I love paintings. Um, I love visual art a lot. I did when I was younger, I wanted to do history of art, um, study that because I do love history as well. But like, loved visual art, still do, always will. Um, and I just love anyone creative. I just love anything creative because like I
mm,
just feel like I can relate with these people. I feel like that's my tribe. And I understand when you've got an idea or you've got something in you and you need to put it out there. And creativity comes in a lot of different forms. And I respect every type of form. I love every type of form. And I
mm.
just, yeah, yeah.
Because I look in the, I can see the background, I see the
Yes,
paintings. That's
yes.
something that kind of, was
The
it, did you do that
tapestries,
yourself?
actually. The tapestries, I didn't do them,
Okay.
but I do paint. I'm not good. I
Don't say
started
that. You know
lessons.
those people like, I'm not good, and then you just
No,
show
no, I'm not.
masterpieces like, I'm not good, this is nothing. It's just
I
worth a million.
swear. I'm not though. Well, I started learning how to paint last year.
Hmm.
And it was because I felt the call like for years that I needed to paint, not thinking I might be good or anything, but like as like a healing, a release. Like
Hmm.
I was called to give it a go. First time I did it, it wasn't good at all. But I learned, it got better. So it's okay. My art
Mm.
teacher says I'm good, but she's also a very good friend.
So
So
she
I
kind of
feel
just like,
like,
you saying this because you're being nice?
yeah, I'm
Or you
like, yeah, she's like, oh my God. I'm like, no, no. And also she's my teacher, but she's like an unreal painter.
Mm.
So she's just being very kind. But I love painting as well. So
And where did you say, so when did you have the I think you kind of touched on it a little bit.
Hmm.
That I have a talent moments. That kind of like I'm actually pretty good at this moments.
Um, is it weird to say when I was like 10? Because it
Oh
sounds a bit
yeah.
like,
No, like when you
yeah.
know it, you know. You're like that.
I thought I had a good voice. I think like I used to sing a lot with my sister. We used to sing in the kitchen
Hmm.
and we were doing some very good harmonies. Um, we were like, ah, we sound good. And then our family was telling us we sound good and like we used to do it a lot, but then I guess it proper like started when I started writing myself. So around
Hmm.
15, where I was like, oh, I'm gonna do shows. I'm gonna see, I'm gonna try. And
Hmm.
um but yeah, I thought I was pretty good when I was younger. But yeah, more than that, outside of thinking I was good, I just really enjoyed it. I loved
Hmm.
singing and I loved, yeah, just anything related to that. So I just was doing it all the time. Yeah.
Nice. And I mean that from that young age, I think some people and the fact that you have parents and a family that were around
Hmm.
music and it kind of makes sense kind of adopting having that realization at a young age because everything around you is conducive to
Hmm.
music and it kind of nurtured it. So that's actually really beautiful.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very innocent back then. Doing it purely for the love of it and just like, yeah, it was good. Good times.
Just to hone in the fact your the writing side. So when it comes to your music writing, because when I interview musicians, because I like to think there's writing in everything,
Hmm.
right? And my base being poetry, I tend to have a bias and I tend to see poetry in every single format in everything that I see.
Love that.
Um, Especially music. I see poetry and music just as one and the other. Like I love listening to country music, and I'm like, if you
Hmm.
take the music, you take the melody out of
It's
country music,
poetic.
you've got poem.
Hmm.
And you can see other artists who they have a very good idea of how to make their words powerful, and I'll add you to that list as well. As
Oh, thank you.
how would you say your actually two part? How would you say what's your style and process for creating a song? Do you start with the melody and the beat first and then attach it to lyrics, or do you have very clear words that you want to match a melody and emotion to?
Ooh, I guess it depends. I think my best stuff when I something's happening.
Mm,
So, if something's happening, whether it's positive or negative,
mm,
I'm gonna take a bit of time to process it, and then I'm gonna realize, even though I know this, that like to actually process it, I need to write it down, put it into a song, or
mm,
make it into something.
mm,
Um, so if I think about it, the timeline is kind of like something's happening, then I have the need to create something. I do feel like I tend to I would sing it maybe. So I would sing
mm,
words with a melody and then I would create it on the guitar.
mm,
So it's a bit odd, I guess. But I would say the writing comes first, then I kind of hum how I want to
mm.
sing what I wrote, and then I put guitar at the back of it. Tends to happen this way, but we need the event first.
Yes. So you
uh,
kind of need that muse to kind of
yeah,
go from, and then
we need the not always, but we need the feeling. I
yeah.
would say more. Whether it's a feeling of like love and it feels good and it's amazing, or
Mhm.
like what the hell's going on. Um, we need we need that, and then it progress into into the rest. But yeah, I tend to write, then hum, then play guitar. Probably because I started singing before learning an instrument. So the instrument to me was kind of like when I was 15, I was writing, I was singing, and then I was like, I need an instrumental
Mm.
at the back of it, and that's why I started learning guitar. So I feel like it's always like the thing that comes like after it's created in words or like hummed as melodies, if that makes sense.
I get you, I get that.
Yeah.
It's almost like I interviewed someone and it's like his words were he treats it like purging. So have like an emotion and he has to
Mm,
purge those emotions onto a page. It's almost similar
yeah.
to you, like the emotion has to come first and you kind of draw out of that no emotion.
Yes.
The event has to come first
Yeah.
and you draw
Event,
out of that.
emotion, feeling
Yeah.
all has to happen and come first. And sometimes what's really funny as well is I would have written something like 10 years ago
Mm.
and I play it now and it like applies because like the emotion and the feeling, obviously I've probably not learned the lesson because it's still here. It's the same. And I'm like, and I it's funny because I was doing this last year. I was playing one of the first song in my EP. And I was saying when I was playing it live, like I wrote this like a little bit of a while ago and it works, it applies. So that's what I find quite interesting with songs. But yeah, we just have recurring feelings. That's a bit of a weird term to say it, but
Oh, that makes sense. Like no matter
yeah.
how old you get, there's certain things that happen and you kind of just the feeling comes back in different ways. It's almost
Yes.
like the feeling's the same, but it's kind of just age appropriate.
Yes, you've grown. You've grown, but like the core of the feeling, yeah, is
Mm.
still there. And when you sing it, it feels also like different, even though it's the same feeling. I don't know. I feel like this is a song that when I'm singing it now, it has a different like if it has a different level because I am grown compared to when I wrote it, but it's still as existential.
And that's something actually I find very amazing with musicians because I'll be
Mm.
honest, I can't sing. I can play instruments.
Hmm.
Like I
But can you
play.
really not sing? Because I feel like it's the same. People go like, I can't sing,
Um,
and they can. And I have friends that are poets as well.
yes.
And I have asked them, why are you not putting this into a song? Because what's the difference? And they were like, oh, that's a good shout.
I think it's a confidence thing, right? Because
Mm,
it's maybe okay. I maybe you know when you tell yourself something enough times, you're like, I can't sing, but like 'cause I play the violin, guitar, and ukulele.
wow, amazing.
Um, like so the guitar was literally my mother. I think I was like 16, 17. Was like, here's a guitar, you're learning to play this, you don't have a choice.
I love that.
Because I was like, no, I'm not gonna like this. And then eventually I actually started liking it. And I'm not gonna tell you I like this, but I'm gonna continue learning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then of the guitar and ukulele are kind of linked with their chords. It's a little bit
Hmm.
different, but like I was like, this guitar ukulele very similar. I can work with that.
Hmm.
And the violin actually is a really funny story where I used to live in Cambridge
Hmm.
and I was walking to work whilst I was studying.
Yeah.
And this, I heard the most beautiful sound in the world. And it was like, what is this amazing sound? And I saw this old man with this beautiful violin playing. And I was like 10 minutes late for work. And you know those moments where like, I don't care, I just need to speak to this person.
Mm.
And he gave me the violin and I was like, do you want to give it a go?
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, I sounded like the terrible horror, like, because my first time touching it for the first time. But I was like, there's something about this instrument that is,
Mm. It's beautiful.
yes, like with the violin, I find that there's a level of connectedness you have to have with the violin. Because with
Mm.
the guitar, you have your strum patterns and stuff like that. With the violin, your body is involved in the music.
Mm.
Your whole
Yeah.
body is involved with it. So it's
How beautiful.
yeah. That's why I still love the guitar, but there's a level of like when I want to be very raw, I play the
Mm.
violin
I mean, I'm
because
obsessed with
you can't
strings.
hide. Yeah.
So like and when I mean strings, I mean like violin, cello, like
Mm.
when I record like music, I'm trying to stop myself from not because otherwise I like my dreams to play with like an orchestra. Like if I could
Mhm.
play my songs with an orchestra and I
Mm.
could feel the deepness of like cello and violin,
Mm.
like I would pass out. So I feel you. I
I
feel
mean,
you.
if you ever have a song you want me to do some accompaniment with it, hit me up.
100%. That would be great. Well, if I'm putting a show and I want a full band and I want strings, I you will be the first person I'm calling.
No, it's one of those skills that now obviously is going to be out in the public. But I was going to say it's one of those skills I don't show off. Say that much that often. But
Hmm.
it's one of those ones where I'm like, if someone's special, I'll play the violin. Otherwise, I just play for myself.
Yeah. Thank you. Ah,
Of course.
so good. So good.
Oh, so I say, what next question? When did your a hobby became something like a job where you can get money from? Like, what was that transition like? Because a lot of people do music and writing and the arts, but it always stays a hobby.
Hmm.
What was that transition like from this is something I love doing as a hobby to let me actually go out and actually perform and get money for gigs? Like, what was that transition like? And was it easy transition? Was it because I know I'll speak for myself,
Mm.
and this is something I still struggle with to this day. When it comes to me performing and being out there in the face, I find it I lose the love of it a little bit because
Mm.
I'm performing a little bit, and it's almost like I need to be like, no, it's okay to show it out. Like, do you find that transition? Are you like
Yeah.
me? Find that transition hard or easy or yeah?
I think I from my experience and in my opinion, I guess it's a process. Like being an artist, whatever type of artist you are,
Mm,
it is a journey. It is a process. And that's why I was saying, like, when you're younger, you're purely doing it because it's like for the fun and the love of it. And then I think that you grow, and when you keep doing it, you're like, oh, I mean, that's what was happening to me. I was like, oh, I want to do shows, I want to do all this, but
mm,
then I wanted to book more shows and do all that. And then it's like you're on this like type of race that you don't really know
mm,
why you're on that race, but you're on that race. And then and then it's about, I feel, going back to being grounded and reminding yourself why you're doing it, and that's
mm,
not easy, and that took me years. I think like when I was in my 20s, and I just sort of I moved to New York for 2 years, and I was just doing music there nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. And I was like losing myself, which was really weird because I was doing a lot of shows, but then I was like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do that, that. And like it's like you've got it's like the fine line between like it's becoming like a business because you're living, you want to live like
mm,
through it, but then like the core of it is because like it feeds your soul. So it's like the older I got and the more sort of like the more I was on the path and going up, going down, going up,
mm,
going down, it led me to now knowing how to just remind myself that I'm doing it to share. And my, as I was saying before, my vision of like success has changed. Like for me, it's like I want to touch people. I want them to hear the songs and feel the emotions. I want to share the words I'm writing, and
mm,
just like a poet, just like as if I would read my poems. Or just as if I was a painter and I wanted to share my paintings because I wanted people to feel like that's the core of it for me now. And it does come with like if I want to share it with as much people, I do need to put some type of work to also
mm.
make sure that it's is shared as much as I can. So there's a fine line, there's a balance that you need to keep. And um, I used to say a few years ago that being a singer is like a gift and a curse.
Mm.
Now I feel like it's just a gift, but I feel like it requires like a lot of it's a journey. It's a
Mm.
journey. And everyone I know that's been doing it for a while or that's been in the same boat as me is saying like, yeah, it's freaking madness. But at the same time, it's unbelievable. And the fact that I'm very spiritual, but that the universe like sort of gave you that opportunity to share through your words and your art, like what a gift, what a pleasure. So just sometimes you have to like remind yourself that that's the main goal.
I think it's such a difficult thing as well because
It is.
I think something if we like when we're like teenagers or kids and we know we have that talent, we know we have that skill, we we think, oh, I always love to do it just because of our freedom of it. But then as
Mhm.
adults, we're like, we have to earn money, we have to pay
Yeah.
rent, and I think that's I can speak for myself and some other people I've spoken to. I feel like that's probably where the it becomes too much of a job
Mm,
where you like, oh, I'm doing this just to another day. I'm doing this just to get my paycheck here, and you forget,
mhm.
okay, where's the love coming from? And even like you notice, like in the big artists, you can tell sometimes they just doing it for paycheck
Oh,
sometimes,
100%.
and it's
100%. There's a big like sometimes I see artists that I follow when they start and I'm like, oh my God. And then they lose look, there's a bit of like authenticity that like sort of gets a bit that's gone. Where like the sounds that I was listening.
it's like
That's so cute. No worries.
oh, working from home is fun.
That's fine. That's fine. I've locked my door, so happens to all of us. But yeah, it's hard though. It's a journey. But yeah, I remember like when a point also when I was like when I was younger when it was like so tough that I wanted to like stop.
Really?
Like not stop, but I was like I remember like having thoughts because at some point I was in a bit of a dark place with music and I was
Hmm.
like I wish I wanted something easier, you know.
Yes.
And and then I like now I'm like, oh my God, like no, but it's like it is like what would I be without it? Like
Hmm.
if I'm like that since I'm a kid, like there's a reason. It's because it's been like ingrained in me and like yeah, yeah, I feel healthy with it now. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
in a very healthy place with it. And if sometimes I'm a bit like, I just have a little meditation.
I think something you have to step back and have those moments like, okay, how can I make it healthy?
Yeah. Mm.
How? I think I'll say first thing for me has been I had to take a step back.
Sometimes you need breaks. Like resting is productive.
Yes.
It's hard to really believe that, but it is.
I, thi- this is for, I'll say for my poetry, I've taken like 2 years and I've
Yeah.
just been focusing on my business because it came to a point where I was like loving highlighting other writers, especially in some of my work. I would write a whole poem just based on someone else. I was like, okay, I still want to be a writer. There's something, I think I can't remember who told me this, but it was one of like the best advice I got told. It was like, within the arts, sometimes you need to find your place.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's your place is highlighting other people
Hmm.
for what they do and how amazing they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's being in stage.
I
Sometimes it's
understand
both.
that.
Sometimes it's like a live thing where you're like, okay, I want to step back and put a spotlight on other people.
Yeah.
And then sometimes like, cool, let me get back on stage. Let me now show the world what I can do. Because yeah,
I 100% get that because there's a lot of things that I know I I think about the future and like I want to sing forever. I want to share music
mm,
forever. But as I said before, like I love art and I love there's loads of things I feel like the door is open and like the world is my oyster. I
could
can
you
just
see
do
yourself
whatever.
maybe being a teacher? To
Oh, I don't know if I'd be good at that.
if you have the passion for it, I think a lot of uh
Teach music, teach like
yeah,
singing.
teach music, mentor like the next generation, management, like that kind of
Mm, Teacher per se, I don't know.
Mm.
Assisting others to be continued, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, for a different interview. But yeah, no, I how do I say that? I wanna I've like studied different things and I've had different jobs and I feel like whatever you do teaches you and is
Mm.
here and you've done it for a reason. And I feel like I've like gained a few skills as I was growing and doing my life. And I feel like there's loads of ways that I could potentially use it. And yeah, I'm open to expanding in a way that could that's in the creative world. The
Mm.
core will always be music. My soul will always be music, but like, yeah, assisting and helping others to be continued.
So I find it like, because what would you, obviously me and you know about this world, but
Mm.
how would you explain to someone who wants to be in the creative world, or is scared to, or as culturally it's not as something that's encouraged. What would you
Mm.
say to them about the life of a creative, like getting on that journey as a creative?
I'm like,
It's not like a 9 to 5 where it's like I do
yeah.
this. It, you have to develop yourself. You have to obviously every single one of us has a different experience. So what would you say
Mm.
your journey as someone in the creative industry has been?
So what would be my advice, you mean, for someone or
Advice and journey. So I say journey first, like how did you navigate it first to now this point in time? And then what advice would you give to someone who wants to kind of take that step and was like, I don't know how it's going to be like.
Hmm. I would say that you need to be first kind with yourself.
Hmm.
That if you feel the calling, go for it because
Hmm.
you might as well do it. It's better to go and to fall and get back up than like never do it and then think, oh my God, why did I not ever go on stage and sang a song? Because it's scary, but like, I've always wanted to do it. I think like I will say if it's scary, do it. If
Hmm.
it's scary, go for it. Because if you're feeling some type of fear, it means there's excitement on the other end. And to me, um even if things feel like it's scary to I don't know, like if at first when I started I was like, oh my God, I've never done a show, this is my first show, I have no idea what's going to happen, but I did it anyway. It's like just do it anyway, just try,
Hmm.
give it a go. And surround yourself with the right people, I would say. And when
Hmm.
I say that, I mean like find your tribe of creatives that are going to understand you and elevate you, and people that you even just one person, like you're the most important person to believe in yourself, but just one person who believes in you, like it's always, I think, needed. um
Hmm.
but I'll say like it's going to be a journey, but it's going to be worth it. Just keep going and you'll keep discovering yourself. This is why I can't be a teacher. This isn't good.
No, I say, John, that's really good advice though, because
Is it?
sometimes the answer is literally to be continued. The answer is not never full. Like sometimes I feel sometimes it's like the answer is never complete because the topic is too complicated.
It's
It's
hard.
individual, it's hard. It's like the answer is just try your best, fall, make a mistake, go again. Like
Yeah, and I would also say you can't really get away from it. So just look at yourself in a mirror and be real, because if it's there, it's for a reason and you can do anything, it won't go. So you might as well like take that path and have fun with it. And it's not
mm,
always going to be fun, but deep inside, you're always going to feel like that's what you're meant to do. Take
mhm,
breaks, slow down, sleep a little bit, wake back up with new ideas. Sometimes you need the space, you need the rest to have new ideas to come in your mind, new ways of doing things.
yes.
Um, new ways of yeah, progressing. And so it's just like going with the flow, but being consistent. And if you feel like you need the break, take it. I'd say that.
Yes.
Because if you
And
keep
some
going, then you burn out and it's not fun and you don't create well and da, da, da. We've all been through it. So,
and sometimes when you step back and you just watch other people, you're like, "Ooh, I can copy that. I can take this. I can take. I like this style. I like." That's when you
mm,
end up being in a space where I think as a creative, you end up being you stop. It's that kind of that same thing of instead of being on stage, you get to watch people on stage.
yeah, it's
You're
inspiring.
like, I can take this. I like this. I like this. You end up being a student rather than the professor. And that's
Mm,
something I feel like, I think, does that make sense? Yeah.
yeah,
And so you sometimes have to be that student and go like, I'm going to take this from this person. I'm going to take this from this person. And then when I make my next EP or my next album, I've got like five different artists that I've taken different inspirations from.
yeah,
Let's see how that works. Let's see
yeah.
what I can do with my style with their influence.
And I would say don't be a perfectionist. I would say that because, and I feel like you'd meet someone in like you'd meet someone who you wouldn't think is a perfectionist, but if they're an artist, I feel like every artist, even someone who's like not really like, doing it for the reason or
Mm,
whatever, just doing it as a hobby, even as a hobby, you're a perfectionist as
yes.
an artist. And that is what's hard because you're like, oh, I could have done this better. Oh, this. And I really work constantly on like calming it down and just being like, it's cool, it's fine.
I
Like,
love as we speak, I have a manuscript on my laptop that is 90% ready, but that 10% of me is like, hmm,
I'm not sure. Sometimes you just have to like just go, just like let it like just share it. Because I also my sister said that to me because my sister does music as well. And she said to me, because when I was recording the EP, I was like, should I put this little in? She was like, no, because just let it be now. Because sometimes you've done a lot and now like it's like it's not really like good ideas anymore. You're like you're like
it's just ideas for the sake of ideas, and
yeah,
it
it's just
loses
because
the
your brain
idea.
has worked so much that like there's another idea like popping up and it's like no, but like it's fine. You've done it. It's good. You need to like give it now. There's people waiting to read it, to hear it. Like just let it be. And like I work on that a lot.
We all do. It's
Yeah.
just
It's a
you
journey.
you could be at any stage of the journey. There's always that perfectionist in you that's like, uh, so
Yeah.
that's it. Second to last question. That's what feedback would you give to your younger self? Actually, let me expand on actually. What feedback would you give to your younger self, and what feedback would you give to a young person now? Because when I say that question, when you were young, obviously technology is different, the landscape of media it's completely different. So when you're younger, there's certain advice you'd give to yourself that is not applicable to modern day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to see yourself, that 10-year-old that was like, wow, I have a talent, what advice would you give to her? And if a 10-year-old right now came to you and be like, I really want to be a singer, I really want to do what you're doing, what advice would you give now, given the knowledge that you have, given the ways of distributing music, the ways of songwriting? What advice would you
Yeah.
give?
Um, I know, I feel like a lot of people would be like, you need to work your ass off and you need to.
Mm,
I don't feel like I would really say that. I would be like, enjoy it. It's fun and don't put too
mm,
much pressure on yourself and don't be scared to take risks. That's what I'd say. But I'd also say that because I think that well, I think that's just us as human beings, but sometimes we have like big moments and we only know like later that they were big moments because we're not present
mm.
and if that makes sense. So I would say I would say these moments that you think are small and not important, they're like amazing. And so be present for them, enjoy them. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, but take the risks. That's what I'd say. I'd say just to take the risks and not to be scared to do what sounds crazy. You're not crazy, I would say. You're not crazy, and what you feel is legit. Is just you being a passionate person and wanting to listen to your heart. So have fun, don't put too much pressure on yourself, and just take every risk. Say yes, have fun with it.
I agree. I think the difference between a creative and
Mm,
someone who does a 9 to 5 is someone in the creative industry. We take we our whole career and life is taking a chance on ourselves.
mm,
And there's a beautiful freedom to that.
mm-hmm,
And there's a beautiful there's an openness to it that no matter what we do in our life, we can say we've been authentic.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
We've
mm-hmm.
taken that risk. We were
Yeah.
there. No matter it was good, it was bad, it was the worst song that you had created, it was the best, you did it. And I feel like that's something a lot of people don't experience that in their life.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
That
I've
just
had 9 to 5 has been my thing. Like I grew up studying like journalism.
mm,
Then I went to school in France. I went to school here. I was
mm,
raised in a way where I wasn't told like just do everything and do music. Like I
mm,
was raised in a way like get a job, do
mm,
this, and then use it as a hobby. And that's
mm,
that's how I was raised. And I think it's a bit of a tricky one because I feel like even though my dad was very musical, he still wanted us to have an education that is
mm,
not a musical education because for
mm,
him, he thought that wouldn't lead us to any serious job. And I know
mm,
there's loads of parents like that, and it could be a cultural thing. I don't know. Not everyone's like that, so I don't want to make a generality. But I just think what I would just say is there's always a way. So I would say that to myself and to a younger person. There's always a way. And if you feel it, just do it.
mm,
If you feel it, just do it. That's being authentic. If you have to do like a 9 to 5, and if you have to do another type of job, but you're singing at night and you're singing in the weekend, or you're building it, build it. If you feel it
mm,
and you want to do it, just go for it. Just do it. And just try not to pressure yourself. That's what I would say. Because I think the key, and I don't have the key, but what I'm
we-
trying, no, I don't have it, but the combo that is probably the good combo is like to keep going for the excitement,
mhm,
go taking the risks, and sort of not pressuring yourself, taking the risk without putting too much pressure on yourself. I feel like if you keep taking the risks and you keep doing it because you love it and you don't put too much pressure on yourself, that's going to lead you somewhere because you keep
yes.
taking risks and you keep doing it because you love it. So if you love it, you're going to want to learn more. You're going to want to see more people.
Hmm.
Um, and obviously, it's easier to do. It's easier to say than to do when I say not putting pressure on yourself. But so I feel like if you're thinking in that way when you're young, then it can lead you to something good. Um, but it'll come with like breakdowns and madness, and but you'll come back. If it's you, you'll
And
come back.
and to add to that, I think there's the idea of the difference between a artist, a creative, a musician, a author, a writer that is successful
Mm,
isn't always the talent. Because it comes to a certain point where you have a bunch of talented people. It becomes how consistent are you with
yes,
it?
I was gonna say
How consistent, not just consistency, but how healthy is it for you as well? Because you've
mm,
got people who consistently do it for, let's say they started when they were kids and then they were 50 and then they ended up making it big. But for them, they always loved doing it for the whole entire of the 50 years. They consistently done it. They consistently put themselves in positions where, like, let me make this, let me collaborate with this person.
mm,
And then all of a sudden they blow up and they're like, those 50 years was consistent but fun consistency.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. definitely agree. I think yeah, it's a journey, but it's fun. And I think if you remind yourself that, which sometimes I have to because we're all human, um, you're good. But I definitely feel like the 10-year-old version of me is different than the 15-year-old version of me who was singing, is different than the version of me that was 25. It's completely different than the version of me now. I'm not telling you my age, but I wouldn't be on 25. But it consistently changed because you evolve, and that's good because your art then evolves as well. You write different things. Even though I said some things you can still relate, you write differently. You're a different artist. You're like your 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, like, and you need these different versions of yourself to create something interesting and for a wider range of people to relate. Because what I was singing when I was 15, wouldn't apply when I sing something now. It'll apply to people like my age and to maybe like older people and stuff. Like, it's part of the journey, and that's also exciting and fun to create differently and to see the different versions of yourself as well. And I think, as I said before, this one's the healthiest. This one's the healthiest. So where will I be in 10 years? Very healthy, hopefully.
If I
We'll
and just
see.
it'll be development of your style in your music, and sometimes you find 10 years you might bring something you did when you were a kid back into it.
100%.
There's a beauty to it. They're like sometimes you develop by actually taking something you used to do such a long time ago, but like, let me do it, but like in a mature version, in a mature
Mm.
way.
That's something I'm gonna do as well, putting it out there as a um was it like God, I forgot the word in English. This is what happened because I'm French, so
Oh,
this
I
is
get it. I'm
this is what happened.
bilingual as well. I get it.
Yeah. So it's like it's when like I've been thinking of taking songs that I wrote when I was 15 because I think they have a lot of potential, but writing them with like me as me now and doing a bit of like an archive kind of thing. Um, that's that's coming. That's coming.
Ooh,
Because I really,
exciting.
really want to do that. And like, because sometimes I'd be singing something that I wrote ages ago, and my sister's like my soulmate. So
Mm.
I'd sing to her, and she'd be like, "This song was good, you know," and I'd be like, "Yeah," and she'd be like, "Oh my God, you need to release it," and I'm like, I need to sit down and look at this old notebook and sort of be like, let me like put this together and release it as like me now. Because I feel everyone should do that. Look at your work that you did when it was
Mm.
like just a passion and it was just all coming and da 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 da. Because there's good stuff in there. And there's someone that's gonna need to hear it. That's why you wrote it. I firmly believe that. If it came out of you, it's for someone. So
100%. Like there's a
mm,
poem I wrote back, and this is one that I'm thinking of like rewriting it. There's like it's called because my old work when I first had, when I first thought this was a hobby was
mm,
I used to write very like technical writing.
mm-hmm.
It was really funny. Like I used to be a very technical writer. I used to be like I'm still a nerd. I've
Did you
never stopped
study
being.
it? Did you study creative writing or did you
No, I
study?
used to be a massive reader. I used to just the people I follow in poetry and writing and even music are people who their style is very technical. I can break them down like Kendrick, right?
Mhm.
Kendrick Lamar, I can be like, oh, I love this technique. I love this lick, the boom, boom, boom. I love
Mm,
this right. That's just how my brain works. So there's some pieces where I'm like, damn, that's so technical
mm,
to the point where I was like, I want to rework because now my style's a lot more raw. I
yeah.
thought you still have it there within you, but now I'm just like the adult version of me is just like, you know what? I could be technical, but let me just
You think
simplify
about it
things.
less. You're less logical about it. You just put,
Before it was more like, let me be fancy for the sake of being fancy.
mm,
All right, let me just show off. Now it's
mm,
like, let me just be raw. The message matters more than the technique.
yeah. And that's when you do like your best. stuff. Because sometimes I think with singers as well, it's like that. It's like, but it doesn't have a bridge. No, no one cares. My intro is too
Exactly.
long. Doesn't matter. You want to really sit like that. I do stop myself sometimes. Like I'm telling you, I love strings. I could do a whole intro of strings for like 3 minutes, and like I'm like, no, I'm going too far. But
I was
it
gonna say
doesn't
that's a lot
matter.
of work for me to play. 3 minutes worth
I
of
know, I
violin.
know. I'm gonna message you. But yeah, it's it doesn't have to rhyme. It doesn't have to sound
Mm,
like that. It just has to be how it feels in the moment. And obviously you need a structure for the song. Um,
mm,
but I do feel like I've done my best stuff when I haven't really thought about how it sounds and just done it, and then I'm like, oh, this is nice. So yeah.
and to go back to what you said right at the beginning
Mm,
with the first question,
hmm
it's the idea of if someone comes to you and says, I felt this way,
mm,
because that person who feels that certain way won't go, oh, I loved the way you did the strings and I love the bridge, I
yeah,
love the structure.
yeah.
They'll be like, I felt so at peace. I felt so happy. Like that feeling doesn't have a technique.
So true. Perfectly said. And also sometimes like you don't even need to be perfect. I think there's also like the thoughts of like being perfect with your singing technique
Mm,
and with like sometimes it sounds like raw like when you sing, and it's like because there's like emotions. I've sung songs on stage where I'm like a bit like because I'm singing it and I'm like feeling all the emotions of when I'm singing it, and I'm like, wow, I'm so much. Like I'm too much. And I say it on stage, I'm like, guys, I proper felt this when I sang it. And I'm like, I'm a lot. Like this is ridiculous. But like it's happened when I'm singing and I'm like trembling a bit. But then I listen to it and I'm like, do you know what? Like that's nice. And people go like, that was like they feel it more,
mm,
like it's got more soulful. It's got more soul because I think that someone who's been training for 50 years at singing, and someone who's been writing songs without training, without the theory, but then starts singing can have a lot more soul than someone who knows the exact rules and just follows the rules all the time. Like they're very skilled, but it doesn't mean,
mm.
that the other person isn't because their role is different. So yeah, no, I absolutely agree with everything you said.
So to finish off the interview, because
Mhm.
it's actually been amazing. This could go for part two, actually.
No, I feel like we could talk for ages. And you
I'm
could
having
play the
a
violin. You could play the violin at the end.
maybe. I'm having an ideas for part two.
Okay.
Um, what new work do you have? So you have an EP coming out the 7th of February,
6th of February.
6th of February.
Yeah.
Describe it. Shall. Wow, words. I can speak English. In
I believe you.
words. Um, shout out your work.
Shout out your work. Okay, so I've got an EP coming out on the 6th of February. It's called Neptune. And it's very dear to me. It's very raw. It's about I'm gonna say karmic relationships. You know what that is.
Mm,
But just about basically meeting people for a reason, feeling like you're trying to find yourself, being a bit lost, but then how love always is the thing that like grounds you and make you feel good,
mm,
and that in the end you just need to surrender to that feeling.
mm,
So the EP takes you on a bit of a journey of these feelings of like confusion, then love and passion, and then surrendering. And I want people to listen to it and like pick the song that they relate with the most, and that's making them feel the most emotions. But yeah, it's very cool. I'm very happy with it. And it's got a lot of like alternative, like dreamy pop
Mm.
vibes, and that's something that I've always loved, and I'm kind of happy that I've been able to put that also as song like in my songs. And yeah, I'm super excited, and it's just I've been wanting to be that raw, I think, for a long time. Neptune is a planet in my first house in astrology. So it's got
Hmm.
an astrological cosmic link to things. And it's a planet of creativity, mysticism, and the unseen, and just all these mad emotions that you feel and you don't really say. And that's literally what Neptune is. You're going to listen to it and be like, oh my God, do I feel this right now? And hopefully you do, because it's good to process emotions. So, so yeah, really proud of it, really excited, and can't wait to share it with everyone.
And I hope this should be coming out if I am timely with my editing. This should be coming out on the week of the 14th.
Well, perfect. Also, good thing to listen to on Valentine's Day, whether you're with someone or not, because it is a lot. There's a lot of love and emotions in there. Um, a lot of passion in the songs, and I chose like the release date on the 6th, and then I was like, should I release this on Valentine's Day? And then I was like, no, I'm too much. I'm too much. Can't love. No, this just the 6th is
Oh no,
perfect.
they can listen to the music first, and then Valentine's Day come. They're like, all right, this is going to be a good day
Exactly. Put
music. So
it
you're
on your
prepping them.
Valentine's Day playlist. That's
Yes.
what I would say, because it would be perfect whether you're like single or you're not. If you just want to feel some love, Neptune's perfect. And
Love it.
also, hopefully, that will make you also want to look at your birth chart, because it will allow you to discover a lot about yourself, because that's what birth charts do. And the songs are spiritual and are kind of astrological. So, yeah.
Lovely. Thank you for this interview. I have so many ideas
Yeah.
of parts two now, but that'll be a post-interview conversation.
Let me know. I'm here. I talk a lot. So,
Thank you, and bye.
thank you so much. Bye.